Hi, I'm Sean and today I'm going to be doing some cleaning and organising around my flat. I'm starting off today with one of my kitchen cupboards, which is for baking and breakfast stuff. So I'm just going to try and reorganise the space. You can see it's a bit cluttered, a bit overflowing where things have just been chucked in. So when I'm organising, I like to clear everything out first, so it just means you can see everything in front of you, means you can clear the space, you can go through stuff, throw stuff away, and then organise it all back in neatly. I'm also going to take this opportunity to wipe down the shelves a bit because I know it's not something I do very often. I probably should, but once everything's in there and you're using it on a daily basis, you just don't tend to clear everything out and then clean, so I'm going to do that now. So, something I really like to organise with is jars. I have them all over the flat, but I've bought some new ones specifically for this cupboard. I've got some nice tall ones, which is good for cereal and stuff like that, because they just end up taking up less room than the boxes. So I can fill those up nice and easily, and they both fit too deep into the cupboard as well, which is really useful. And they just look good as well, so you can see how happy I am with them. I'm very pleased with this organisation. So I have another couple of useful bits and pieces to help organise. I've got this really useful shelf which just slides right into the cupboard, which you can see is extendable as well, so it would fit to different spaces. And I've also just got a standard little basket to put all my small bits and pieces, so I think I've got things like food colouring and birthday candles, just little bits and pieces. But they just really help to divide up the space in the cupboard, and also the shelf gives a second layer to put things on. I'm kind of just separating all the big bags of stuff that I don't use that often onto the top shelf, and then all the smaller little things onto the bottom shelf because then they're easier to get to. And now I'm onto some more smaller jars, but I quickly realised that I haven't actually planned what I want to put into them, so we'll just have a little think. And finally I decided to use it to store some raisins, which I have with my porridge for breakfast, and then for the time being I'm going to leave the other one empty. So now I have all my baking supplies, so big bags of flour and sugar and stuff like that, and they sit quite nicely on the shelf, out of the way but still easy to get to. And then I've got more things like cocoa powder, syrups and stuff like that, which where the smaller tubs and stuff like that then go under the shelf really nicely and neatly as well. And having seen how well my tall jars work, I will go and get some more of these jars for the extra cereal and oats and stuff that you can see up there as well. So that's everything pretty much organised, and hopefully you can see that there is a lot more space from just those couple of little changes. Clearly I'm very happy, so I do have room now to put extra stuff in if I want to, but I might try and keep it organised for the time being and not overload it. And this is just a quick, easy little organisation job that you can do at home. So that's the first one down, and on to our next bit of organising. So, one of my favourite bits of storage that we have, hello there, is our ottoman bed, which you can see if I pull up there. Really convenient, and I'm very happy about it. But we have loads of space underneath, and I'm going to try and fit all of this rubbish underneath and out of the way. Hello again. And yeah, there's loads of space, as you can see, as I model amazingly. So once again, I'm just going to take this opportunity to clean everything out at the same time, because I know once everything's in there, I'm never going to bother to hoover down there ever again. So yeah, this is just a really great extra space to have for all those kind of things that you don't need immediate access to, but you can have stored away neatly. So a great example of why this is so useful is for storing suitcases, which obviously take up a lot of room and are a bit inconvenient and you don't need them that often. But I've also got all my travel toiletry bags and stuff like that all stored away as well, and a little smaller travel bag. So yeah, this is just a super convenient place to put them away, out of the way, but I can still grab them whenever I need to. And you can see the cogs turning in my brain there, just thinking, what's next to organise? And now we're on to all the gift bags and boxes that we don't necessarily need right now, but probably will in the future. And then I've also got these really useful storage containers which have books or winter clothes, and I've got some for toiletries and stuff like that as well. Now, something that was super useful when we bought our new set of pillows was we kept the bags that they came in, and they've been so useful to have extra towels and pillowcases and duvet covers and stuff like that stored away in there. Next is more boxes, and I quickly realised that there was some stuff that I could just easily get rid of, like our old toothbrush cases and stuff like that. So that's quickly clearing stuff out. and then everything else I tried to kind of organise into itself, and all the smaller boxes into bigger boxes and stuff like that. Also got some lovely Tango Ice Blast cups from the cinema, which we got and then have never used, but we'll just keep them under the bed for now. And as much as I tried to declutter and keep things neat and tidy, there is some stuff that you just don't want to get rid of for whatever reason, so having some extra storage space just gets it out of the way if you want to procrastinate getting rid of it. So yeah, that was a really quick job, and I've still got room to add other stuff in, which I inevitably will do, but it's also just easy to get to everything, it's clear what everything is, it just makes life so much easier when it's organised. Neat and tidy, and no one needs to know about all the boxes I refuse to get rid of. Well, congratulations on making it this far, and on to our last bit of organisation and storage, which is the new overbed shelf that we put in quite recently, but I'm gonna give it a clean because it's already accumulated a load of dust, and then I'm gonna organise some extra bits and pieces onto it. We've been wanting to get another piece of storage for so long because it seems that we just end up filling whatever space we have. So we've got 2 bookshelves already, all completely filled to the brim, plus that other storage stuff that I've showed you. So this is just another extra piece for all the overflowing stuff that we have. So I guess I'm using this shelf for the kind of things that I would have on my bedside table. So I've got some books, some like little bits of makeup and stuff that I don't use on a daily basis, some photos and some little jewellery boxes and stuff like that. But it's convenient to have them out of the way, but everything's still within reach and easy to get to. I'm still trying to keep things looking like aesthetically pleasing as well, so I don't want to overload it with loads of stuff. And so that's why like photos are quite useful to just have in the foreground, and then I can kind of hide things behind them. But I've also got dusty photos apparently as well, and things like my sewing books, which I don't use it that often, but it's useful to get to, and also it kind of looks just pretty on a shelf as well. Next I have some like pretty gift bags that I want to keep or might use again, and they just kind of pop on top of the shelf quite well. I've also got like a toiletries bag or like a travel makeup bag, and some other little girly signs that I've just collated over the years. So it's just convenient having like a second level to the shelf as well to put those other bits away. I've just been kind of organising all the little doohickeys and stuff like that, so everything's got a place on the shelf. But it's all still fairly neat, and again, like I said, having stuff at the front kind of distracts from everything else behind it. Next I have this little hanging plant which I love. It's from IKEA and it's fake because all of my real plants died, but it's really cute and it just hangs over the side of the shelf, and also very conveniently covers a massive scuff that we put in the wall when we put the shelf up, so super convenient. Hello, that's me checking that the camera was still on. And if you see my previous video, you would know the blood, sweat and tears that I put into this origami. And I'm not just going to get rid of that because it took me a little time. So instead, I'm going to stick it all over my new shelf on display. So there's my crane, my hearts, my butterfly, some shapes, really exciting, and then my little frog that I was super proud of. So my main struggle with the shelf, besides the actually putting it up part, was wrestling with these fairy lights for like a good 10-15 minutes, but eventually I'm going to wrap them all the way around. Then, while I'm minding my own business, someone makes a break for it. Clearly this hurt my feelings, but we'll power on. It turns out that cranes are flightless birds, but only when they're made out of paper. There we go, back safe and sound. So now I'm just going to continue painfully trying to wrap these lights around for quite a while, so I'm sorry about that. It has all been sped up, but it did take a long time. Obviously, I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but essentially I'm just trying to wrap it around a couple of times and keep it in a place where it's not all going to fall down. Well, now it's all wrapped round, it kind of looks there, and you can see how pleased I am with my work. But there's still something I'm not quite sure about it hanging down like this, so we'll try and fix that. Let me assure you, I don't think that the lights will just stick there if I hold them up, but I'm just trying to think of solutions and ways to make it look good. So enjoy this fairly dead space of my brain just ticking over and thinking of the best way to do it without it looking stupid. And that's me going to ask my boyfriend if he doesn't mind me just sellotaping them onto the shelf, because that's literally all I could think of to do. Let me know if there was something really easy that I should have done instead. And you know what, as much as it seemed like a really stupid idea, it actually looks fine. I mean, even from underneath, you can't see the sellotape, it's pretty much invisible. And I'm editing this a couple of days later, and they have yet to fall on us in the night, so it seems to be working quite well. And I'm just using some cable ties there to neaten up all the wires on top as well. So there we go, a very happy Sean, clearly. I mean, it's all come together quite nicely, and I've still got room for other stuff as well. But I think, yeah, when you've got all the lights on as well, it just looks quite sweet. The lights do also get a bit intense, but I can fix that. And you can see my hanging plant there a little bit better, it just looks quite nice over the edge. But yeah, I'm pleased with how everything's come out. And then we go in the daylight, and obviously like the wires on top aren't ever going to be particularly pretty, but you don't really see them anyway. And there's still room to add more stuff on top if I need to, or even in the shelves as well. So yeah, so that's kind of some easy organisation stuff from home. I can do some more of these, and I probably will. And if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!